Hi everyone, this is Monica. So my custody orders came in the mail today as expected, and my husband was kind enough to relay those orders to me. And the good news is that I'm not going to be on supervised visitation. And really there's like two pieces of good news. The other piece of good news is that the court did award 50-50 parenting for the summer. And that's great because that's way more parenting time than I've had in 7 years. So but virtually everything else was horrible. I'm being forced to pay $3,500 in attorney's fees to the other side, even though he did not prevail. He asked for supervised visitation and didn't get it, so I don't know why I have to pay his attorney's fees. And I'm obviously not going to. I'm not going to agree to that. I'm going to appeal that order because there's no basis for it. Sorry, if you're paying someone to try to put me on supervised visitation, I'm not going to reimburse you for that. So I'm going to be appealing that. The other, I have 90 days to pay $3,500, so that's like a little over $1,000 a month. There's two big things. She did say I was a fit parent because every judge has said I was a fit parent. I've been told this over and over again. You're a fit parent, you're a fit parent, you're a fit parent. But this time around, again, endorsed as a fit parent, but she's saying because my son has autism, he should not be going back and forth between two different homes. And I argue that you can have stability having two parents in your life just as much as you could have stability having one parent in your life. She said, I don't appreciate the fact that my son should not be going back and forth between two households, which is just completely infuriating. So she said my son deserves stability, and she praised my ex for doing so much by going to court and standing up for this, one parent, one household for my son notion that he has. So she praised him for wanting my son to only have one parent, and then condemned me for wanting my son to have two parents. She said that autistic kids should not be going back and forth between two homes. It's not good for them, or whatever. I'm paraphrasing. And the other thing that I was faulted for was that we have other kids in our home. So my stepsons are with us part of the time, and then we have a 1-year-old daughter. So because there's other children in our home, the judge concluded that we can't give him the proper care that he needs, which is complete crap because I'm a stay-at-home mom. I work like 8 hours a week. My son's father works full-time. I'm home all the time. And my work schedule is perfectly suited for a child with special needs and a 1-year-old. My daughter doesn't even go to daycare. So how could you say that we have too many kids in our house and because my son has no siblings in his father's home, then that's automatically the better home? That is discrimination based on family structure. It's discrimination on him because he has a disability. The judge is saying because he has a disability, he should be treated differently than kids who don't have disabilities. Kids without autism can have two households, but kids who have autism should only have one house. And I have to become sensitive to the fact that he needs stability. So God forbid mom tries to get her parenting rights back. I believe that if this is going to apply to my son, it should apply to all kids, but it's not because that would be completely inhumane. But it's okay to do that to a kid with autism. So yeah, that's what I'm left with. It took me 2.5 years to get these outrageous orders, and she put zero effort into coming up with this. She basically stapled the old orders to the new ones and told us to revert back. She took away all the protections that were in place to secure my rights as a parent. So right now the situation goes where if my son's father wants to do something with my son, like have surgery performed or change his religion, what have you, we no longer have to go to an arbitrator to help work that out, but she's encouraging him to communicate with me first. She's encouraging it, not mandating it, but encouraging it. She's also saying in her orders that I'm no longer allowed to petition the court anymore, ever again, without going to therapy with my son's father. But she also says that the therapy for my son's father to attend is optional. So if I want to change something in court, say my son is languishing in school more than he already is, I cannot go to court unless I go to 6 therapy sessions with my ex, but my ex has the option to not go to those sessions. So I have been effectively locked out of the legal system. My First Amendment right to petition the government for redress of grievances has been completely diminished. And this family court has done nothing for my son in 7 years. It has condemned me for trying to advocate for my son. And I have no choice but to approach this on a federal level, because you cannot get justice in family court. The fact that I had a subsequent child, and the fact that my son has a disability, those were the two main factors that she used to make these determinations. Completely unconstitutional, completely violation of my son's rights under the American with Disabilities Act. Complete disregard for the fact that we have more than one child in our family. You know, my son loves his stepbrothers. My son loves his sister. She used the fact that we have other children against me. So to create a sense of fear in the family court, where if you have subsequent children, you're going to potentially lose your first child, is ridiculous. My kids are 9 years apart. I didn't just go having kid after kid after kid. Okay. So she said that my house is not as peaceful and quiet because we have other children. Well, sorry, we have a lot of fun in our household. That's why it's not quiet here, because we have a lot of fun. This is insane. My son's right to family integrity has been completely obliterated. This kid is 10 years old. By the time this gets fixed in the appellate court, he's going to be 12. If I prevail in the appeals court, they're going to remand me back to the trial court. That's another 2 years. So by the time this is all fixed, my son's going to be 14 and a half. Okay, this family court has completely ripped out nearly a decade of parenting that I was supposed to be enjoying with my son. So we are going to federal court. They have completely violated all of our due process rights, both me and my husband, because they've done the same thing to my husband, and he has a son with autism. So we have no choice but to go to federal court, because this family court is completely worthless. Do not go to family court for anything. I would go straight to federal court if you can, because these people will not protect your fundamental rights, your constitutional rights, and they will absolutely destroy your children's civil rights, especially if they have a disability. We see this over and over again. So thank you for letting me rant, and I will update. Thank you.